Sometimes a book or a line of poetry just finds you. It feels like it was written specifically for you, right when you needed to hear it. Well, today we're diving into a collection of writing that was actually designed to do exactly that.
So we're looking at I Wrote This For You, which is this incredible project of poetic prose and photography by Iain S. Thomas that was built over a whole decade. And really, it's less of a traditional book and more like a direct message, an attempt to make a real connection right through the page. The whole thing starts with this line. So simple, so direct, and unbelievably personal. It's not just some fancy intro, it's like a plea, grabbing your attention and right away making it feel like it's just you and the author in the room.
And right there, that's why that connection is so important. The author isn't just writing pretty words, he's putting a voice to that deep, universal feeling we all get sometimes. That quiet loneliness that can creep in even when you're surrounded by people.
So it makes perfect sense that the entire project is basically framed as an answer, an antidote to that feeling. It's this very intentional act of reaching out across the void, trying to bridge the gap from one person's heart to another's.
And this just doubles down on that intimacy. See, the text isn't meant for some big, faceless crowd. The whole point is for you, the person reading it this very second, to feel like you are the only one it was meant for. It's like a secret being whispered just to you.
This image just nails the context for that loneliness, doesn't it? You can be one person in a city of millions, just a single light in this huge, sprawling grid, and feel completely and utterly anonymous. It perfectly captures that feeling of being lost in the crowd.
Okay, so from that feeling of isolation, the work starts to go deeper. It doesn't back away from the tough parts of being human. No, it leans right into them, acknowledging all those struggles with sadness and fear and anxiety that, let's be honest, we all carry around with us.
I love this part. The author actually gives these feelings names, the great sadness and how weird I really am. And just by naming them, he makes them normal. It's this incredibly powerful way of saying, hey, this isn't some personal flaw you have. This is just part of the deal of being human.
When you think about it, so much of what we show the world, the masks we put on, the personas we build, it's all just a defense mechanism. We're constantly running on this hamster wheel, trying to look busy or smart or beautiful, all because we're just reacting to our deepest fears.
And this image, man, it's such a powerful, quiet acknowledgement of that pain. That's the weight of the great sadness, right there. A feeling so heavy that sometimes words just don't cut it. It's a posture every single one of us recognizes.
But just as you're sitting with all that heaviness, the whole narrative begins to shift. It starts to pose a new question. But first, it tells us what the question isn't. It's not about counting our scars or measuring how much pain we can take.
And there it is. That's the pivot. The focus flips completely from damage to recovery, from suffering to resilience. This one question reframes our entire experience of pain and turns it into a story about our own strength.
Building right on that idea of resilience, the author then gives us this totally new way of looking at failure itself. It's not something to be ashamed of or to run from, but in art form, something to be embraced. So how in the world do you fail beautifully? Well, according to this, you start by being all in. You fail with your heart on your sleeve, totally committed. You go for the impossible, the absolutely ridiculous. And then, when you inevitably fall short, you do it with grace. It's a whole mindset that values the attempt way more than the outcome.
So, from this place of acceptance, the focus shifts again, this time to finding hope. And we're not talking about some big abstract hope. We're talking about something smaller, more real, the kind you can find in the quiet, everyday moments of your life.
What a powerful thought. It takes the biggest catastrophe you can imagine, the literal end of the world, and it makes it feel okay, almost peaceful, all by grounding it in a simple human act of love. It's a reminder that what really, truly matters are these small moments of connection. And cherry blossoms are just the perfect symbol for this, right? They're famous for their incredible, fleeting beauty. They remind us to find peace and meaning in the moments that don't last forever. In fact, maybe their beauty comes from the fact that they don't last.
Here's another fantastic metaphor for building that inner strength. Resilience isn't something you're just born with. It's a muscle you have to develop. And the exercise? It's simply the act of getting back up again and again and again.
And so, that brings us to the ultimate message, the thing that ties everything we've talked about together. It's a final, direct statement of solidarity and hope.
And here it is, the full circle. Our shared struggles, our collective great sadness, those aren't the things that isolate us.
They're the very things that connect us. Our vulnerability is actually our greatest strength.
The work leaves us with this final piece of wisdom. Be soft. In a world that can feel so harsh, so unforgiving, to hold on to your gentleness, your sweetness, your ability to love, that is presented as the ultimate act of rebellion, the ultimate act of strength.
This last thought just zooms all the way out, placing our little lives into a much, much bigger context. It gives our struggles and our joys a kind of legacy, reminding us that we're each a part of this beautiful, ongoing story.
And it ends just as it began, a direct personal address. The whole journey started with a desperate need for connection, and it closes with pure gratitude that that connection was finally made. A perfect circle.